Okay, we're going to read the next 10 or so pages of game. So this starts on page 51. House said he was going to add something new to each practice. The big thing in the next practice was ball handling drill, where he had us going up and down the court around cones, dribbling two balls at the same time. I didn't think much of that at first until I saw how some of the guys couldn't handle the ball as easily as I thought they should. I checked out Tomas, and he did all the right for a big man. I kept away from House. He was making notes on his clipboard, something he hadn't done before. He was letting us know he was serious. I still didn't know what he was trying to do. We ran some wind sprints and then a wing drill. The guys on defense, bring your fists up under your arms and hold out your elbows as if you had wings, coach called. Anybody who passes you and they're going outside your elbow does 5 laps around the gym. The object of the wing drill was to go at a defender as hard as you could, but as close to his body as possible. If you went by him close, he would have to turn his body and shift his feet before he went after you, and he wouldn't be able to do it fast enough to stop you. And if you went around him too wide, he would turn his body as he moved, and he could recover some of the time and get back into a good defensive position. I liked the wing drill, and I was good at it. Coach set up a zigzag pattern of guys, and we had to dribble past them, always staying inside their elbows. We ran the drill a few times and saw Tomas move his elbow into guys as he drove and almost knocked 2 of them down. They complained, but Coach just made some stupid remark about being men. I knew if Tomas did that in a game, somebody would knock his head off. When Tomas went on defense, Sky gave him a shot, and Ruffy hit him in the ribs, making him wince. William, sit down, House said again. Okay, we all dug it. Nobody was supposed to touch Tomas. Just let him have his way. We ran a light 5-on-5 and saw that the guys were checking out Tomas. Sky put some moves on him and he went for them. I got inside with him and called for the ball. Yo, Tomas, I'm going straight up, I said. When the ball came into me, I took one dribble and went up. Tomas had his hands up, but he hardly got off the floor. I made the easy shot over him. I heard the whistle and turned to see House signaling that I had walked. No way, I called to him. House knew I hadn't walked. Tomas knew it too. We finished practice with a passing drill that was a major snap because everybody wanted to show off their stuff. House kept yelling at us to get serious, but nobody was going there except Colin. Even Tomas tried a little blind pass. By the time we had showered and dressed, I was in a good mood. All did that for me. It was a warm day, and Ruffy and I bought some sodas from a guy with a cart on the way home. House is steady scooping you, Ruffy said. He's looking for you to blow. Yeah, I'm hip, I said. But to tell you the truth, I don't even care, man. If House wants to mess the team up, it's on him. How come you're not downtown? Jocelyn said. I thought you were going to help Mom with the shopping. Why didn't you call and remind me? I'm not your secretary. Mom shopped on Ninth Avenue, across from her job at the Port Authority on paydays. She had asked me to come down and take the stuff home. The whole thing with Tomas was so heavy on my mind, I had completely blown it. But I wasn't supposed to be there until 4 and it was just 3:30, so I was still cool. I grabbed a gypsy cab on the avenue, whizzed downtown for a big $6, and got to 41st and Ninth in a flash. Then I went up to the office my mom worked in and got introduced to all of the people I had met 100,000 times before. You should apply for a job with the Port Authority Police, a short, red faced man said. They're looking for more African Americans to join the force. Yeah, maybe I will, I said. Mom started writing down this whole rap about how the Port Authority staff was now going to be involved in feeding the hungry. And most of the program is due to your mother's initiative, Redface said. They collected 6 cartons of cold cuts, chips, and soda from neighborhood merchants, and me, Mom, and the Spanish woman named Sherry were going to give them out across the street at a homeless center. A porter near the Port Authority put all the stuff on skid, and we went across the street. This place was mostly a big room where people sat and played cards, ate, or got help filling out forms for different programs. I'd seen it before because I always passed it when me and Mom went shopping on 41st. Mom and Sherry wanted me to help give out food, but I wasn't down for it. So I just sat at one of the tables while they made the distribution. So who you? This brother sat across from me at the table. He was definitely smelling funky, and his hair looked like he hadn't combed it in a serious while. Drew, I said, holding out my hand. Drew Lawson. My mom is handing out the stuff that we brought over. Where you live? Uptown. So you one of them uptown folks thinking you better than everybody, huh? Why you gotta go there? I said. You don't know me. You know what I got in me? He asked, pointing to his chest. I got the truth. Yo, that's all good, I said. And the truth is that you don't care what you do or what happens to you, he said. That's why I'm homeless. Sorry to hear that, my man. Nah, man, you ain't sorry. The guy turned and started sniffing, and at first I thought he was crying, but then I saw he was just sniffing. That was funny to me, but I didn't want to bust a grin on my man. So where are you from? I asked. So where is Mr. Ferguson from? He said. So where are you from, Mr. Ferguson? I'm from Chicago, and I came to New York because I wanted to bring truth to the people, he said. But you know what? When I found out the real truth, I knew the people didn't want to hear it. What's the real truth? I asked. Don't nobody care if you're homeless, he said. Ain't nobody care if you're laying dead in the street. Ain't nobody care if you ain't got nothing to eat. Yo, man, that's my mom over there bringing food and stuff to you people, I said. She cares or she wouldn't be bringing it. No, man, she cares because she's homeless too, Mr. Ferguson said. She knows that anything she got from the man can be taken back by the man. And if the man can mess with you like that, you ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I lied. That's why I ain't putting myself out there in the man's game, he said. If you know you don't have to win, then there's no use for you being in the game. Ain't that right? Not really. They got you brainwashed, he said, turning halfway around on the bench and talking over his shoulder. They can't brainwash me because I've been around. You ain't been nowhere. Yeah, right. I guess you okay, he said, but I ain't sure. You sound too white to me. The guy was still smelling funky. He was talking stupid, and I was getting the feeling that I might be getting bugs on me or something. I waited with Mom while she finished handing out the food. What I saw was that most of the people didn't care if they got food or not. One old man was complaining the diet soda caused cancer, and he shouldn't be handing them out to people. When he said that, Mr. Ferguson jumped right in about how cancer was the government's secret way of getting rid of people it didn't want. As we were leaving, Mr. Ferguson called out that he bet I was glad I was leaving. He was right. Me and Mom went to the meat market between 41st and 42nd and bought umpteen pounds of hamburgers, some chicken, sausages, and large cans of black beans. All the time she was thanking God about having a job and a decent place to live, and how I should be thankful too. You see them poor people over there, she said. People should come see them and be thankful for what God has given them. Mom had to go back to work for another hour, and I took the stuff uptown. On the way, I thought about Mr. Ferguson. I figured he had pickled his brain with cheap booze years ago, and maybe even drugs. But he was right about some things. I knew I really didn't care for the dude. And I started thinking that probably nobody in his family cared for him either. Or maybe if they cared, they couldn't deal with him being so off the wall. It amounted to about the same thing. But something he said bothered me. He said that if you didn't have a win, you might as well give up and get out of the game. And that was what he was doing, getting out of the game. But with him, it was straight up. Maybe with some of the guys on the corner, it was the same thing, but they just weren't dealing with it. I'm going to stop there for today.